That's exactly what we had. 23 million new jobs. Incomes went up for everybody, not just those at the top. Working people, middle-class families, even poor people saw their incomes rise. In fact, the median family income went up 17% over those 8 years, and the median African-American family income went up 33%. People were working. They were providing for their families. They were buying homes. They were saving money for college and retirement. I'm really proud of that record. And I'll tell you what, if the Republicans want to criticize it, I'm going to ask them, what are they criticizing? The peace or the prosperity that we had? Now, I think it's fair to say, you can ask, well, what happened? We got a Republican in the White House. That's what happened. It's not that complicated. Honest to goodness, I was there. I was a senator from New York, and I spoke against, I voted against an economic policy that did not do anything but cut taxes on the wealthy. That was all they cared about. Back to so-called trickle-down economics. That is the realistic response, my friends. Because look what happened. Not only did they slash taxes on the wealthy, but they didn't regulate the financial markets. They didn't regulate the mortgage markets. And we know what happened.
Send that to my
the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. 9 million Americans lost their jobs. 5 million homes were lost. $13 trillion in family wealth was wiped out. Homes, cars, retirement accounts, college savings accounts. It was just an extraordinary collapse. And people are still recovering from it. And I'll give you this. I don't think that President Obama gets the credit he deserves for making sure we didn't. It was a year-long thing. You know, right after that election in 2008, the president-elect called me, asked me to come see him in Chicago. I didn't know why. It turned out he wanted me to be Secretary of State. But before we started talking that way, he just looked at me and he said, it is so much worse than they told us. And it was.
Oh my God.
We were losing 800,000 jobs a month. So, we got this big ditch that we got dropped into. We have dug our way out. We are standing. Now we got to start running again. Most American workers haven't gotten a raise in about 15 years. So we've got work to do. And I feel strongly we can do this work together. We can bring back that broad-based, inclusive prosperity. We can create jobs in infrastructure, like I said. Our roads, our bridges, our tunnels, our ports, our airports, our water. These are not only good jobs, these are jobs that can't be exported, number one. These are mostly union jobs. That will make our economy more competitive. So I'm going to go all out to get as many infrastructure jobs as we can. I want to bring back advanced manufacturing because I do believe we can still make it in America if we have the right tax incentives that encourage people to bring jobs to New Jersey, to America, not ship them overseas. Look at what happened with the auto industry. You and me, all of us, the American taxpayers, we saved the auto industry, the American auto industry. We saved it. It just had its best year in history. There are millions of jobs that are dependent upon the auto industry. So yeah, did we make an investment? We did. Did it pay off? Yes, it has. That's what we need to be doing more of. American jobs. give people a chance to make the most out of their lives, their hard work, their ambition. And we will fight climate change by creating clean, renewable energy jobs. Some nation is going to be the 21st century clean energy superpower with all that means. The technology, the jobs, the businesses, the exports. If I were betting right now, I'd say it's going to be China, Germany, or us. Let's make sure it's us. Now, it's sort of hard to imagine how we're going to create more jobs and businesses if we also don't raise the national minimum wage and help people get out of poverty. If we don't do more for small businesses that create most of the jobs in America, and if we don't guarantee equal pay for women's work. I gotta say, equal pay is not just a woman's issue.
That's right. That's right.
If you have a mother, a wife, a sister, a daughter who's working, it's your issue too. It's a family issue. It's an economic issue. And it's time that we lifted everybody up who is working hard. Now, everything I just said to you, the Republicans disagree with. You know, they don't think we need infrastructure jobs. They sure don't want more union jobs. They don't believe we can make things in America, and they don't even believe in climate change. You know, when you ask them, you know what they all say? They say, well, I don't know, I'm not a scientist. Well, my answer to that is, well, go talk to a scientist. Come right here to Camden County College and talk to a science teacher. Donald Trump says wages are too high in America. And they don't believe equal pay is a problem. So we've got a pretty big difference when it comes to the economy.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a really big difference when it comes to taxes, and I'll tell you why. I'm the only candidate who has run from the very beginning, the only on either side who has said, I will not raise middle-class taxes. Rich people's taxes because they have benefited the most from the economy in the last 15 years, and it's time they paid their fair share for America's prosperity and our success. But here's what Donald Trump wants to do. He's released just one detailed proposal in this whole campaign.
What about his tax return?
He's right. We'll get to that. And it very clearly is his plan, because Donald Trump's tax plan was written by a billionaire for billionaires. He wants to spend $3 trillion, that's with a T, $3 trillion on tax cuts for people like him who make over $1 million. That is $100,000 every month for multimillionaires. Now, to put that in perspective, $3 trillion is enough money to make Social Security and Medicare solvent for the next 75 years. It's enough money to put millions of Americans to work to repair and modernize all of our country's infrastructure up to world-class standards. Reality, and he's gotten a little defensive about his tax plan. But the facts are there in black and white for anybody to see, and he has stuck with it because he literally wants to spend more on the top 1/10 of 1% of earners than the bottom 60% of earners in our country combined. Now think about this. The typical family in America earns $54,000 a year. It would take that family 24 years of work
Damn.
to earn what Donald Trump's tax plan will hand out to people like him in just 1 year. That is no way to create good jobs with rising incomes for the vast majority of Americans, is it?
No.
And the gentleman who called out, what about his tax plan? I hope you'll keep asking that.
I do.
And what about his taxes?
Yeah.
So we'll get around to that too. Because when you run for president, especially when you become the nominee, that is kind of expected. My husband and I have released 33 years of tax returns. We got 8 years on our website right now. So you got to ask yourself, why does he want to release them?
Right.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out. But you know what? In addition to the economy, we've got other work to do and other barriers to knock down. I want to knock down the barriers to education. I want to start with early childhood education so that our young kids get ready to succeed. I want to work with our teachers as a good partner to support our teachers. I have a plan for debt-free tuition, debt-free college. Mental health problems and addiction problems. You know, I do think it's important for you to know what I would do as your president. That's why I've been putting out all these plans. That's why they're on my website. You know, I sometimes get kidded, criticized. People say, oh, there she goes with another plan. I don't know, I have this old-fashioned idea that you want to know what you're voting for.
Yeah, right.
You want to know what that president is actually going to try to accomplish. It really matters because what I have learned over the years is that when someone shows you what they believe, you better believe them.
That's right.
And that's especially true when it comes to our rights.
Yes.
The Republicans have run a campaign that has been so negative about all the rights that we have as Americans. So I want you to know where I stand. I will defend a woman's right to make her own health care decisions. I will defend Planned Parenthood against these. I will defend marriage equality and work to end discrimination. I will work to defend voter rights and to end Citizens United. I will work to reform the criminal justice system and end the era of mass incarceration. I will work for comprehensive immigration reform with a path to citizenship. I will defend both Social Security and Medicare against the Republicans' efforts to privatize them. And I will stand up against the gun lobby and fight for We have a lot of big differences with the Republicans on all of those. We also have a big difference with Donald Trump when it comes to foreign policy and national security. You know, the president's most solemn obligation is to protect America, to do everything we can to take care of our men and women in uniform, and to lead the world. And I have to tell you how concerned I am with what I hear Trump saying. I have said that he is a loose cannon. What do I mean by that? Well, I think calling for more countries to have nuclear weapons which is the last thing we need. We should be trying to get rid of nuclear weapons, not implement them. That's a loose cannon. I think advocating torture, that's a loose cannon. Saying we should pull out of NATO, that's a loose cannon. Saying we're going to bar every Muslim from coming in to our country. You go down the list, and you got a really reckless, even dangerous agenda that he is promoting. And maybe a lot of people haven't quite focused in on it yet. But there's a lot of concern around the world about his candidacy. Because it really matters. You know, I have been privileged to know our last two Democratic presidents pretty well over the last 25 years. I know how hard the job is. And I know how important it is that when you run for president, especially when you are president, you are careful about what you say. Because everybody in the world is listening. And that can cause all kinds of complications, even conflicts, if what they hear sounds reckless or sounds unpredictable. So this is going to be a big issue in this campaign. And I know how important it is to protect America because I was a senator on 9/11. And I spent much of my time in the Senate, 8 years, working to rebuild New York, to take care of families that were shattered by the murder of their loved ones, to help the first responders, the construction workers and others who rushed to the site, stayed there and became sick from breathing the toxins that were in the air. I take that not only seriously, but personally. So I will do whatever is necessary to protect the United States of America. And I'll tell you what else I will do. I will try to unify our country. I find the divisive rhetoric, the hateful rhetoric, the finger-pointing, scapegoating of people, the inciting of violence among Americans to be totally wrong. It has no place in our politics. We can disagree, of course we can. But remember what Abraham Lincoln, the first Republican, said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." And I have said repeatedly, I am not going to respond to the insults and the attacks coming from Donald Trump. He can say whatever he wants to say about me personally. I will stand up and fight for and speak out for every American that he has. Teachers in this crowd, how do you explain to your children when someone running for president encourages people to be beaten up, encourages violence? We're trying to treat and teach our kids that that's not the way. Well, we're not going to stand for it. We're going to show a different way to ourselves and to our country. Ground. I will go anywhere, meet with anyone at any time to find common ground. I did it as First Lady, I did it as Senator, I did it as Secretary of State. I worked with Republicans who disagreed with me on 99% of things, but we found something to work on together. We worked to reform the healthcare system to provide the children's health insurance program that covers 8 million kids. We worked to reform the adoption and foster care system. We worked to give health care We worked to make sure that drugs for kids were appropriately tested. We worked on so much, and as Secretary of State, I rounded up 13 Republican votes to vote for a treaty to lower the number of nuclear weapons between Russia and the United States. So, I know how hard it is, but I know it is important. And what I have learned is if you are an independently elected person, Democrat or Republican, you got to feel that you're working with somebody. You have to have a relationship that you build up. Right. That's what I have done. That's what I will do. Because I want to get results for the American people. I want you to know what I intend to do, and I want you to hold me accountable for it. I want you to look and see whether we are making progress together, whether we are getting results in the economy, in education, healthcare, and everything else. But I can't do that without your help. I need your help in this primary.
Got it.
I need your work, your volunteering, your support. We're running a great campaign here in New Jersey, but we could use every one of you to be involved with us. And here's one thing I want you to remember as we leave. Why do I do this? People ask me that. Why do I do this? Well, because I feel blessed. You know, when I heard Sue's introduction, I don't have anything terrible in my life, like my family escaping from North Korea, but I had a mother who was abused and neglected and left pretty much on her own, and was working at the age of 14 as a maid and babysitter in somebody's house. I had a dad who was the son of a factory worker and an immigrant who worked so hard for so many years to be able to send my dad to college, and he started his own small business and gave us a good middle-class lifestyle. And I had great public schools, and I got to go to great public parks, and I had the feeling that I was so blessed being right there in my home, in my community, outside of Chicago, in the middle of America. I want everybody to feel that way. I want everybody to feel that. I think about that a lot because I don't want Americans to give up on us or to feel left out and left behind. I want the American dream to be alive and well, and I am motivated about that every day because of my granddaughter. Something just happens to you when you become a grandparent. I know young people can't even imagine that, and frankly, I couldn't imagine it as much as I feel it until it happened to me. Because all of a sudden, you've got this new life, this new generation, the continuity of your family, and of course you want the very best for him or her. In our case, you know, Bill and I will do whatever we can to make sure that she has every opportunity. But that is not enough because both he and I remember what we were given, what kind of support we had. And I don't think it's enough that our granddaughter has opportunities. I want every child in this country, every grandchild